What up, y'all? It's Monday Motivation here at Yes Queen. Yes, Queen, yes! Okay, so if you follow my main account, then you will have saw on Friday that I was working on my vision board, and I'm sure a lot of you were like, okay, Daysha, but like, what was the end result of your vision board? What's your vision for 2018? And then if you are subscribed to the Yes Queen newsletter, then I'm sure you saw that today is Put It in the Universe Day. And basically at Yes Queen, that means that we are putting a goal or something that we want to accomplish this year out into the universe. So part of the reason why I created this hashtag and this day is because Yes Queen is all about self-actualization. Oh my gosh, I am so nasally right now because I am so congested, but bear with me. Okay, so back to my plug. So Yes Queen is all about self-actualization, and self-actualization is just a fancy word for helping people accomplish their dreams and realize their potential. So with that being actually, it's gotten really dark. Give me 1 second. There we go. Much better. It's it's like overcast here in California today, so I'm using a little light to assist me. But where was I in my plug? Give me a sec. Okay, so we were talking about self-actualization. So yes, I really wanted to reaffirm the power within people to be able to believe in their dreams and their goals. And part of how we do that is acknowledging what they are and putting them in the world. Because you'd be really surprised about how many people are afraid to truly admit the things that they want and just kind of say that this is what I want to do for myself and then unapologetically go after it. And because Yes Queen is all about helping people tap into their unapologetic fierceness and make choices that they firmly stand behind and that they don't feel sorry about in the wrong ways, I felt like Put It in the Universe Day is how we do that. So for this Put It in the Universe Day, again, as I mentioned, I was working on my vision board on Friday. And so I'm going to show you guys some of the goals that I have for myself and then break down how I thought about it so you can take it back to your own life. And again, part of how Put It in the Universe Day works is that you have to put it out there. Whether you at me on social media, which I would love, or you want to email me or email somebody or put it on a piece of paper, you just have to put it out there. Because there's a really cool stat, again, if you're subscribed to the Yes Queen newsletter, not that I'm trying to plug it, but you get all of this motivation and more. But there's a stat that I put in this week's newsletter that talks about, so the stat is that you're 42% more likely to accomplish a goal if you write it down. Literally, all you have to do is write it down, and you are given close to a 50-50 chance of getting what you want. And all you're literally doing is writing it down. Like, that's it. That's all you have to do. And you are that much closer to getting what you want. So best believe my vision board is full. And you don't have to get super fancy with it. So I, in some ways, like arts and crafts. I think it depends on the day, honestly. But all you have to do, you can get a vision paper. It just needs to be written down. A vision email. God, I'm getting nasally again. But the point is that it just has to be out there, and we have to learn how to confront the insecurities and the hesitations that come with putting our goals out there, because that will put you one step closer to achieving it. God, it got super bright. Okay, so now that I'm done with my spiel, I will walk you through my vision board, some of my goals, and then, of course, at Yes Queen, I created this acronym, I think is what you would call it. But we don't just make goals. We like to make SMART goals. And so SMART stands for boom, specific, motivational, actionable, reasonable, and timely. So you might have saw in earlier versions of this on the interwebs that specific used to be small. And I felt like they both represented the same thing, but specific was more, specific. But basically, this is a acronym that I created to help people get more targeted about the goals that they set for themselves, not just saying I want to lose weight or I want to buy a house, but actually kind of learning how to outline the steps. And I feel that any kind of big goal that you want to accomplish is literally just a series of baby goals. So that's what SMART is all about. Okay, so let's get smarter, my friends. Let's do this. I will walk you over to my vision board. Give me 1 sec. Hi. All right. So we are at my vision board, as you can see. I wanted to use stickies because I wanted to be able to use this chart over again, because this is a bomb ass chart right here. I love gold, in case you didn't know. And then you can see I did a little baby one for Yes Queen too. They were out of the big ones. But okay, so let's look at one of my goals. Okay, so I just showed you my first goal, and the other thing I should mention is that even though this chart says it's for 2018, I actually like to do goal setting every 3 months, because I think that's a good check-in point. I don't think it's bad to have goals for a year. Like, I think it's good to have maybe like overarching goals for the year. But again, like, this is all about working smarter and not harder. And I think part of that is breaking down your bigger goals into smaller, achievable goals. So I like to do it every 3 months, because I feel like 3 months is enough time for you to be able to have traction to do what you want. But then it allows you to be able to pivot just in case, you realize in between doing it that it's not something you actually care about. Okay, so we're talking about my goal, which is that I want to do at least 3 public appearances for the first 3 months of the year. And as you saw, I'm actually doing like pretty well. So I did 2 public appearances so far. So I was thinking about it because I was like, because now we're transitioning into the next quarter. And so I did 2 in the first quarter, which is fine. I didn't necessarily hit my goal, but I got pretty fucking close, right? Okay, so when we think about this goal, what makes this a SMART goal is that it's specific. I said that I wanted to do 3. I didn't just say I wanted to do public appearances, but I chose a number. Okay, so when we think about this goal, what makes this a SMART goal is that it's specific. I said that I wanted to do 3. I didn't just say I wanted to do public appearances, but I chose a number. So the next part of what makes it a SMART goal is that it was motivational. I am someone that really enjoys public speaking and just kind of like being out and sharing my thoughts. So it's something that I would actually want to complete. So a common theme that I've recognized when people set goals is that sometimes they often set arbitrary goals. So it's goals that they don't really have any heart or passion behind. Like, I just want to lose weight, but there's no reason as to why they want to do it. Or the other common thing that I see is that it's a goal that is motivated by outside forces. And so when we think about motivation, it has to be something that's intrinsically connected to you, and something that, because if you don't have the heart behind it, it's just not something that's going to be accomplished. Like, when I was trying to lose weight for those early parts of my life, I was doing it for outside forces. I was doing it because I wanted a boyfriend and all that stuff, and it wasn't sustainable. And it's not sustainable because at the end of the day, like, you best. Humans don't like to do anything that they don't really feel. So even if you try to say that you feel it, if you're not really feeling it, it's not going to happen. So again, remember that the M stands for motivational. It has to be something that you feel intrinsically connected to and that you feel motivated to see to the end and see it become realized. So the next element is A, which is actionable. It has to be a goal that requires you to take some form of action. Again, when you say, I just want to lose weight, it's not giving you any kind of push to do something. So you always want to make sure that your goals have you doing something that requires a form of action. Or if that's not explicitly in the goal, I would make sure that you do action steps after the fact. So for instance, if we're continuing with the losing weight example, some of your action steps could be, I'm going to enroll in a Zumba class, or I am going to take the stairs more at work, or I am going to meal prep 3 days a week. But whatever your goal is, you just want to make sure that it is requiring you to take some form of action in order to achieve it. That is like the number one thing. So then the R in SMART stands for reasonable. And so the other big thing that people do when they set goals is that they make these really big, broad goals with like no steps, and they get very overwhelmed. So the R just basically represents making your goal small enough so that, it's reasonable for you to be able to accomplish it. But then you also want to make it challenging enough so that you don't get bored and then just don't want to do it. So when we think about my goal, which was to do at least 3 public appearances, 3 was a small enough number to feel achievable, but challenging enough to where, I still couldn't hit it. I only did 2 out of the 3. But know that just because I didn't hit it, I don't feel uninspired. If anything, I actually feel more motivated. I think 3 was the perfect number for me to set for myself to be able to motivate me to want to keep going. Okay, so now the last part of SMART is the T. And so T is all about being timely. You want to make sure that it's a goal that you can reasonably accomplish in the amount of time that you set for yourself. I like to give myself 3 months. And I would say this is a very important part of the whole SMART acronym, just because a lot of times people feel discouraged about continuing their goals because they really don't give themselves the right amount of time to check in on it. So like I said, I like to do 3-month check-ins with myself just because it's enough time for me to really be able to try and accomplish it. But then again, it gives me enough time to be able to pivot just in case I'm not feeling it. Because some people, and I'm thinking about Capricorns here, all them earth signs are very committed to a plan. Earth signs do not like to pivot from the plan. And the thing is, though, is that if you're not feeling something, you got to know when to let it go. Because the other thing that we have to admit to ourselves is that we're always constantly evolving and changing. And so that's why I don't like to do 1-year goals, because where I'm at in January might not be where I want to be in December. So 3 months really gives me the time. 3 months really gives me the time to test it out, test the waters, really see if this is something I actually want to commit more of my time to. And then if I realize that it's not working, I can jump ship and fill in other things that I care about. So there you have it. SMART: specific, motivational, actionable, reasonable, and timely. So if you want to apply that to your goal setting strategy, I definitely encourage you to take it with you. So I hope you guys had fun learning about goal setting with me today. I had a ton of fun doing this with you guys and sharing what I love to do so much for myself. Hopefully it helps you guys. If it does, definitely let me know. Tag me on social. If doing this today just made you feel so inspired to the point where you just want to go out and buy a vision board and take over the world with your goals today, then I highly suggest that you I can't speak today. Anyway, long story short is you should head on over to www.yesqueenlife.com and you should subscribe to that newsletter, because I do all kinds of activities like this and more on the site. So check it out. All right, so this is me officially signing out. I need to go eat and go to hand therapy. I have a dance class tonight. I'm living life. So go out, conquer your dreams, put it in the universe. Love you guys. I'll catch you guys next week.